To Down Under, Australia's vegetable industry says it's dealing with a serious drought. It's not a lack of water, but a serious drop in the number of seasonal workers from overseas. It says many farmers are struggling to harvest their crops, and the impact may be felt beyond Australia's shores. Greg Navarro explains.
Washing lettuce may not seem exciting, but to Benjamin Lulong, it's part of the experience of a lifetime. The 21-year-old from France is spending a few months working on an organic farm in New South Wales before traveling to other parts of Australia.
I really want to discover the country, the people.
The temporary job allows Benjamin to learn about Australia and gives farmer Michael Champion help with his crops. But lately there have been fewer people like Benjamin passing through rural parts of the country.
This last season, if we say the summer season, which is when backpackers tend to be around, I've had fewer calls in the last couple of years.
That's because fewer young people are travelling to Australia for working holidays.
We've seen the numbers fall by about 37,500 in the last 24 months who have applied for visas, and that's a concern.
The basic problem for farmers comes down to this. While the amount of temporary or overseas workers is declining, the amount of crops that still need to be picked is not. That means some farmers are producing less, which experts say is raising vegetable imports into the country and reducing exports to Asia, despite a growing appetite for Australian goods.
I think a lot of it is economically driven. We've seen in Italy the youth unemployment fall, for example, from 40% down to about 12% since the change of government there. In terms of Ireland, things were very bad a few years ago. They're slowly recovering, but that has led to a 60% fall in the number of young Irish coming here.
The lower Australian dollar has made the prospect of working here less attractive for young people in some parts of Asia, such as Taiwan and South Korea.
Even though Australia pays, is not the highest, one of the highest rural farm rates, we still can't attract enough of our own young people to work on farms.
Which is why AusVeg CEO Richard Mulcahy says Australia needs to do more to attract help from overseas.
We'd certainly like to see the seasonal worker program opened up to some other countries in Asia, particularly Indonesia and Vietnam and potentially Cambodia.
Otherwise, he says, Australia will continue to see fewer people like Benjamin Lulong work their way around the country, putting an even bigger strain on the people who depend on them. Greg Navarro, CCTV, Sydney.